Hi everyone, welcome to my video on how to let go of anger and cultivate compassion for others. I call Earth School, and we're meant to have relationships with each other, good and bad, and that is the ultimate test. I think I learned a lot in recent times with COVID that affected so many people, and so many people had lost people. There was so much anger at our governments. It was how things were managed. There was anger about confinement. There was anger where people weren't allowed to see people they loved. There was anger where people had lost loved ones and weren't able to travel or see them because of international borders and all sorts of crazy things. And so I've had lots of clients come to me, in readings, sharing those frustrations and that anger. And it compelled me just to make this short video about that. I'm definitely not perfect, I'll say that. And I guess it's awareness that I have now about how I see people, how I interact with people, how people feel. People are allowed to be angry. One of the biggest things I've learned so far was coming across some literature called the Course of Miracles. And in this literature, it basically says that most of us are suffering today because of something said or done to us in the past. And this is really, really interesting. It's probably one of the greatest things I've learned, and it really helps me deal and manage with people who are angry at me or frustrated at me or skeptical at me or whatever in what I do or who I am as a parent or a father, a son, a best friend, a companion, or a friend to someone else, and what stuck with me from this literature was our creator, whatever you believe that to be. It doesn't matter whether you believe it to be Allah, Buddha, Jesus, Krishna, Sai Baba. I feel culturally we have identified that with different ideas and different names, but at the same time, to me, it feels like it's the one source, the creator of all things. And I'm definitely not here to change your belief system in this video or at all. But the thing that I took away from this literature was our creator says, whatever you believe it to be, that we veto what we want to suffer from with everyone we meet. So veto meaning choice, and then we accept what we do when we meet people. So I found that really profound. Our creator says that we choose our pain for why we suffer today because of things said or done in the past. And that really hit a home run with me. I'm like, what am I choosing to suffer from because of what someone said or done to me, regardless of relationship, in the past, for why I feel the way I do today? And in that whole process, our creator is saying, if we choose our pain, can't we also choose to let it go? I have nothing. My father did this to me, for example. Or it could be the virus did this to me. Or a partner did this to me. Or my children are doing this to me. Or, whatever else it might be. But is it really true? The creator responds to this young man by saying, people can steal your car. They can take your money. They can even do horrible things to your body, against your will even, which is terrible. But they have no right to be in your mind. As soon as you put someone in your mind, thinking the thoughts, my life is this way now because of what's being done to me, then you'll never truly be authentic, And we are choosing this to keep us where we are, and that's generally in the trauma, in the pain, in that moment that's even happened years ago, even for a lot of us. If we lose someone, we might say, if only we had more time, if only I'd done more for them, if only I told them I was sorry, if only I tried to resuscitate them longer or done something sooner for them, maybe they'd be alive today. So now I suffer, now I'm angry, now I have pain. But is it really true? And I have to be honest, most of the time it isn't. It's something that we've created. And our Creator says, if you put something or someone in your mind for things that were done in the past, you'll never truly feel authentic and liberate yourself. Now, some people will go to the extent of they'll blame the weather even, or they'll blame something small, like dropping a dozen eggs on the floor. The Creator would say, put a raincoat on and do it anyway. The Creator would say, go and buy some more eggs and move on. And this was quite profound for me to hear this, because I find in my sessions a lot that I get people who, and all of us, even myself in the past, have been saying that my life is this way now because of what's really happened, to them. And so if you can, realize that we're choosing our pain, then maybe you can also choose to let it go. And when I kind of got my head around all of this, I found it so much easier to not take on what people think of me, how they feel. The way to manage this is, it's acknowledging people, it's acknowledging your children, it's acknowledging people's anger. I've had people in the street just come up and have a go at me for, just being myself. And my first response is, I'm so sorry you're having a bad day today. Is there something I can do to help you? And they get perplexed because they're attacking me or they're venting their anger. But as soon as I do that, I'm acknowledging it's okay to feel the way you do. I find being a young father now, I'm very tested. But I'm finding that I'm having a little bit more, a deeper relationship, particularly with my oldest daughter, because when she's upset, I'll say things like, you know what, I'm disappointed too that you can't watch TV now, or that you wanted to wear those shoes and not these ones, to go outside and play. But this is a moment where you can turn things around by acknowledging and supporting someone and how they feel. Well, you're allowed to feel the way you do. You're allowed to be angry or frustrated. You're allowed to feel pain. But then you must ask yourself, am I responsible towards this? Have I created this? Have I got a part to play in it? If you do, you must try and fix it in the moment. That's the most important thing. In the moment, have I got a part to play in this? Have I been responsible and created grief or pain for this person that's upset right now? Then if you have, try and fix it. But if you haven't, you have to say, you know what? I understand you're angry. You're allowed to feel the way you do. But how you feel, it's got nothing to do with me. What are you going to do about it? Because that's not true. I'm not going to give you permission to influence the image of who I am. I'm not going to let you attack me, put me down, make me feel small, that I can't feel authentic and be who I want to be, so that you can be happy. Lots of siblings do that with each other, and children with their parents. where there's expectations that you should be a certain way or do this or be that, be a doctor, be a lawyer. I'm sorry I'm not the doctor that you wanted me to be, but that's how you feel. It's got nothing to do with me, how you feel, unless you think it's true and fix it. But if not, you have to kind of say, this is what I want. This is what makes me happy. This is who I want to be. But I hope you still love me, that I'm not the doctor or the lawyer anymore. Yeah. So it's all about acknowledgement and understanding that people are going through different pain, different experiences, even if it's just basic being tired and didn't have enough sleep and being grumpy, and not biting and when feeling attacked, that the instinct is to attack back. The instinct is to say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. That's what someone like Buddha would do, or Mandela, and then think of, what's my part to play in this? Am I at fault here? What should I do about that? And then where does this need to be changed? And a lot of it is our individual selves being disappointed in, maybe we don't have life purpose, maybe we lost a loved one, maybe we're just angry because someone broke our hearts or let us down or promised us something and it didn't follow through, or someone's, taking our things or not wanting to share with us, or whatever it might be. And those processes and those moments is where you can turn things around, not only for yourself and empowering yourself to be a better version of yourself and not letting anyone influence the image of who you need to become, but you also become more compassionate and more supportive to a loved one, a friend, or even a stranger, and maybe being able to help them look at things from a different perspective, supporting them through a crisis, empowering them to see that maybe they're going about things the wrong way, and turning things around. When my daughter, for example, with her shoes is, wanting to wear a different kind of shoes, I'll say, but now's not the right time. But it doesn't mean you can't wear these other shoes later. But for now, let's look at those shoes and let's use them, because they're the ones that are more practical and more supportive in what you're doing in this moment in time. So I'm not saying no, you can't. I'm saying just not right now, for an example. And that would make her realize that, oh, well, he's not saying no and I can't have them forever. I'm actually going to get them a bit later, and that's okay. And it often will change her mood and her mindset, and sometimes not. But, this is the thing where time, patience, and practice, you can't fix everybody. You can't sometimes stop people being who they just need to be in that moment. Sometimes people's pain is long-seated and been there for a long, long time, and it just won't go away overnight. But I find now, if I even do that with loved ones in my family, or with, people who come to me for sessions, for example, I could let a reading that I do for a person, if it doesn't go right, for example, a client that was disappointed that I didn't connect to a loved one for them, right? They might have read my reviews and had great expectations and think, well, this guy's going to just get everything right for me today. And I don't sometimes, I can't know everything about everyone who's died. It's impossible. But I will share my thoughts. But what I'm doing in my mind is I'm not letting anyone influence the image of who I am and thinking I'm a bad medium, or I failed today, or could I have done better? I mean, yes, I sometimes have those thoughts, but I don't hold on to them for too long, because I'm basically saying to the person, well, sometimes the reading is about them. Sometimes I'm only as good as my recipient. Sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I haven't had a good rest. Sometimes people are on medication and shouldn't come for a reading. Some people are really skeptic or testing, or want, you know, more proof beyond possibility. Um, and that's okay that they have those thoughts, feelings, or ideas. My role is to do as best as I can and let the evidence do the work. It's not my role to convince people that we survive death. My role is to plant seeds, um, and share spiritual truths, um, and hopefully over time, what I've shared with a person might empower them to look for more evidence for themselves, maybe go see another medium and get confirmation, maybe set them on the path to maybe a spiritual, religious aspect or faith that they can apply to their life, and live by the principles of spiritualism, and live a fulfilling life. But it's not my job to convince people or convert people in their ideas or ways of thinking. People need to come to their own conclusions, and through their own experiences learn to change their own ideas or ideologies or belief systems on their own. And I think that's the problem a lot too. People just have these feelings that they need to push their ideas or their values onto people. And I don't do that. I just let the evidence do the work. And if it's not enough, maybe I've planted the seed. Maybe they go see someone else who might confirm things that I've said. And then maybe for that person, they'll start to come to some realization. No, I only want to help people believe that maybe we don't die, and take their fear away of death, and that love from the spirit world is unconditional and can't be destroyed, and it's just love. It's not the work of the devil or anything like that, you know. And so how other people feel, I go, it's not my problem. I'm not responsible for how they feel. Could I have done my best? If I feel like I haven't, did I give them a refund? Yes, I did. And I'm okay with that. You know, that's all you can do. You know, but if you are watching this video, you know, try it with people. You know, start to see how you go with experimenting with that. Say to someone, if they're angry at you, I know you must be going through so much right now, or you're allowed to be angry or disappointed. Is it true? Have I been a part of this? Well, I'm so sorry. Let me make it up to you. Can I fix it for you? You know, let me help you fix this if you know that you've done wrong. And if not, just say, well, I love you. I care about you. You know what? You're allowed to be upset right now. I would be too. What can I do to help you? You know, how you feel is not my problem. That's how you feel. And you're allowed to feel that way, but it's got nothing to do with me. So let's fix it. Or can I help you? And if you do that, you should eventually, over time, develop the ability to let go of anger within yourself or other people's anger being applied to you, and developing more compassion for those who are around you or come into your life. In theory, you know, never give up, keep on trying. And um, me and my partner say, in the moments of hardship, you know, what would Buddha do? You know, or what would Mandela do? The answer is, yeah, you're a better person if you can come from that perspective, no matter what's being presented in front of you and what's challenging you at the time. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the short video. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again sometime.